The taxable brokerage account is one of the best accounts for financial freedom. There are no income limits, no contribution limits, thousands of investment options, zero penalty for taking money out at any time, and sometimes the ability to capture a 0% tax rate or a discounted tax rate compared to your ordinary income tax. So let's get into it. This is the perk of the taxable brokerage account that makes it so attractive if you have a goal of early retirement or financial freedom. And that is that you can put an unlimited amount of money into this account. While your Roth IRAs, your 401ks are going to have capped contribution limits, there is no cap on the taxable brokerage. You can invest as much as you want, as often as you want, which is such a critical piece for early financial freedom. Another perk is that you can take money out of this account for any reason at any age without having to worry about a penalty. Your retirement accounts are typically going to have penalties for an early withdrawal, but there is no early withdrawal penalty for a taxable brokerage. So if you want to take money out for a real estate investment or to fund a new business or your children's education or retiring early, this account will not penalize you. So right before I started my own business, I started shifting from putting a ton of money into retirement accounts to putting a ton of money into a regular brokerage account. Of course, you're going to have to be careful about how you then invest this account if you need access to the money in the short term. That is a separate discussion on asset allocation and risk tolerance, but this is the ultimate account when we talk about optimizing for flexibility. Like I mentioned, your retirement accounts are going to have an early withdrawal penalty before age 59 and a half. But what if you want to retire at 50 or 40 or take a year-long sabbatical at age 35? You need an account to serve as a bridge. Now, many of my clients have a goal of early retirement, and sometimes I find that so far they've only funded retirement accounts, and what they're missing is an account to serve as the bridge to get them to age 59 and a half. This is where the taxable brokerage account can step in and serve the purpose of providing your income until you are able to access those retirement accounts. Plus, a great benefit of retirement accounts is tax-deferred or tax-free growth. So by using a taxable brokerage account for income, you get to leave those accounts alone for as long as possible so they can grow without taxes. So I've hyped up this account so much, you may be thinking, why not just skip the retirement accounts and only fund this account? Because it doesn't have the same tax advantage of retirement accounts. Your traditional or your pre-tax accounts are going to grow tax deferred, and your Roth accounts are going to grow tax free. That means your retirement accounts get to grow and compound without any interruption from tax, which is powerful. The taxable brokerage account, on the other hand, is taxed as you go. So your dividends are taxed, your interest from bonds, if you hold bonds, may be taxed. But if you know what you're doing, you can minimize the tax impact in this account. Just because a taxable brokerage account doesn't grow tax-free or tax-deferred doesn't mean that there is no tax benefit with this account. With this type of account, you get to deal with capital gains tax. So long-term capital gains have a preferential tax treatment, meaning they are taxed at better rates than your ordinary income. But only if it is a long-term capital gain. To get that better tax rate, you need to hold your investment for at least a year before selling it. That's what makes it a long-term capital gain. If you sell an investment that has made money before you've held it for 1 year, you will be dealing with short-term capital gains tax. And short-term capital gains are taxed as ordinary income. So this is why we want long-term capital gains. So you do need to be careful with trading in this account. If you really like to buy and sell stocks often, you may be creating a crazy tax bill in this account. Now, you can also tax loss harvest and tax gain harvest in this account. This is where you can capture investments at a loss and use those losses to offset ordinary income and or capital gains. Tax gain harvesting, on the other hand, is where you could potentially capture gains at the 0% tax rate. Both of those topics are more complex and for another video. In your 401k, you are limited to the investment options your employer offers you. Your employer may have great options. They may allow you to diversify at a low cost, or they may have terrible options. I see terrible options quite a bit. But in a taxable brokerage account, you can choose almost anything to invest. You're free to pick your favorite low-cost index funds. You're free to pick your favorite stocks, your bonds, even CDs if you want. But an important point here when you're choosing your investments is to be mindful of the tax impact. So for example, bonds pay out interest, which is taxed as ordinary income. So you might think about municipal bonds here or putting your bonds in a different type of account. Active equity mutual funds buy and sell stocks constantly. That may cause a large tax bill for you. So be mindful of the investments that you choose and consider opting for investments that are tax efficient in this account. A taxable brokerage account is a great account to pass on to the next generation. At death, your cost basis steps to the current market value. So if you have large gains in this account and you pass away, those gains are basically eliminated because we have brought up the basis or the cost where you bought these investments up to the current market value. So if it's shortly after death, your beneficiaries can sell out of the investments at minimal or no tax impact to them. That is a wrap on the taxable brokerage account. As a summary, this account has a ton of flexibility. There are no contribution limits. It can serve as a bridge account to age 59.5. There are a ton of investment options, 0 penalty for taking money out early. And while this account is technically not a tax advantaged account, you still have the flexibility to minimize your tax impact. You can use long-term capital gains, you can tax loss or tax gain harvest, and the account steps up in basis at death, making your impact to heirs, the tax impact to heirs, non-existent or minimal. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it and would like to follow along for more tips on building wealth and becoming work optional, go ahead and hit the like, comment to let me know what you thought of this video, and subscribe on my channel, and I'll see you next time.